is this fun and interesting? Dear friends, astronomical phenomena like solar and lunar eclipses are not rare, but they don't happen frequently either. In a year, we only have a few opportunities to admire those unique phenomena. According to the International Astronomical Union, in 2023, there will be 2 lunar eclipses and 2 solar eclipses. Tomorrow, May 5, 2023, we will have the chance to observe the first lunar eclipse of the year. This is a penumbral lunar eclipse. Notably, the event can be observed in many places on Earth. Our Vietnam is also considered an ideal location to watch the entire event unfold. If you are an astronomy enthusiast, don't miss this rare and hard-to-find opportunity. So, when does the lunar eclipse occur? How can we admire it? Please watch today's video to find the answers. Wishing you relaxing and informative moments. Now, let's explore together. If you love astronomical events, you are no stranger to the phenomenon of a lunar eclipse. This is a unique astronomical phenomenon that occurs due to the natural movement of 3 celestial bodies: the Sun, Earth, and Moon. It happens when Earth moves between the Moon and the Sun, causing the 3 celestial bodies to align or nearly align. This causes Earth to block sunlight from reaching the Moon's surface, and Earth will cast its shadow onto the Moon. If the Moon completely enters Earth's umbra, a total lunar eclipse occurs. If the Moon only partially enters Earth's umbra, a partial lunar eclipse occurs. Additionally, there is another type called a penumbral lunar eclipse. Imagine Earth's shadow divided into 2 parts: the umbra, dark shadow, and the penumbra, partial shadow. A penumbral lunar eclipse occurs when the Moon only enters the penumbra. Then, Earth only partially blocks sunlight from reaching the Moon. From Earth, we will see the Moon appear darker but not completely disappear. To visualize the types of lunar eclipses, please observe the diagram below. S umbra, it. S umbra, like in these 2 positions, it. If the Moon is in this position, it's called a penumbral lunar eclipse. On May 5, 2023, the first lunar eclipse of 2023 will occur. This event will be a penumbral lunar eclipse, meaning the Moon only enters the penumbra. If you enjoy moon gazing, grab a pen and paper to note down the eclipse time and schedule your moon watching for May 5th. Although not as impressive as a total lunar eclipse, if you observe carefully, you will still see interesting changes on the Moon. This penumbral lunar eclipse will begin at 22:15 on May 5th, Hanoi time. Thus, it will be an ideal time to observe the Moon when it is already high in the sky. Of course, it will be much more interesting if you and your loved one watch the Moon together. At the beginning of the eclipse, you might not immediately notice the Moon's change. However, as the night deepens and the Moon moves further into the penumbra, you will feel the Moon gradually darkening. If you are patient enough, wait until around 0:24 on May 6th, which is the peak of the penumbral lunar eclipse. At that moment, the Moon will be darkest, and you will feel the greatest change in its brightness. After reaching its peak, the Moon will gradually move out of Earth's shadow. The event will end at 2:32 on May 6, 2023, Hanoi time. This means you will have over 4 hours to admire this penumbral lunar eclipse. This is the eclipse map released by NASA. Areas such as Antarctica, Asia, Russia, Oceania, East and Central Africa can all observe the eclipse. Meanwhile, areas like North America, South America, and most of Europe will not have the chance to observe it. Fortunately, our Vietnam is in an area where the entire phenomenon can be observed from start to finish. This is the first of 2 lunar eclipses that will occur this year. So, don't miss this fascinating phenomenon. If you want to watch the eclipse, you need to find a very dark location with little light pollution to make observing the lunar eclipse much easier. You just need to choose a convenient location to observe the moon, such as through a window, on a balcony, on the rooftops of tall buildings, or right in your own garden. If possible, you can equip binoculars or a telescope to admire the moon more clearly and see more distinct changes.
Another good news is that according to the weather forecast for May 5th, many provinces in Vietnam will have no rain and few clouds, making it very favorable for viewing the lunar eclipse.
Hai Yen will try to livestream the event on the channel if the area where she lives is convenient for observation. If nothing changes, at 10 p.m. on May 5, 2023, please join the YouTube channel Ta2V to interact with Hai Yen. During a penumbral lunar eclipse, the moon will appear slightly darker than usual because it receives less sunlight, but the moon will not disappear. This effect may be difficult to notice and sometimes only detected through detailed photos or by those with keen eyesight. However, sometimes there are events where the entire moon moves into the penumbral region, called a total penumbral lunar eclipse. Those rare eclipses will cause more darkening and can be observed more easily with the naked eye. However, it is very rare because once the moon completely enters the penumbral region, it is likely that at least part of the moon will touch the Earth's umbra.
This creates a partial lunar eclipse instead of a penumbral lunar eclipse.
Among all types of lunar eclipses,
a total lunar eclipse is perhaps the most impressive, as the moon is completely obscured by the Earth's shadow.
At that time, the moon will gradually turn red, and we feel as if some force is covering the moon. This is not the case with a penumbral lunar eclipse. The moon will gradually darken,
and its color may turn to yellowish-brown or light orange. Nevertheless, this is still a fascinating astronomical phenomenon and a rare opportunity to observe the lunar eclipse with loved ones.
After watching the lunar eclipse on May 5, 2023, if you capture impressive and beautiful photos, don't forget to come back to this video to share your feelings with everyone. Or you can send those photos to Hai Yen via the email provided in the channel description. Wishing you a joyful and happy lunar eclipse viewing. So today, Ta2V and you have explored the penumbral lunar eclipse on May 5th.
The first lunar eclipse of 2023. Wishing you an enjoyable video viewing.
Now, please continue to choose the video on the left or right side of the screen
to join Ta2V in unraveling other mysteries of the universe.
Looking forward to seeing you in the next videos.
Goodbye, everyone. Subscribe to the Guia Migo channel so you don't miss exciting videos.